Warning, the podcast you're about to hear has a unique conservative perspective and may be politically incorrect, containing some controversy in its message. This episode may speak out against liberalism, socialism, the dark state, and religious organizations. It is possible that evil in politics, education, law, society, and religion will be discussed and exposed. However, we believe this podcast adds truth and value to a mature, disenfranchised audience who may be tired of apostate religions and wicked world systems. Listeners who are easily offended, overly sensitive, or have progressive leanings sympathetic to the topics we expose should be forewarned not to listen any further. We thank both those who choose to listen as well as those who choose not to listen. You've been warned. And now, let us get on with the show.
The show must go on. And today's date for Mr. Powell.
Today's date is February 8th, 2019.
I've got to give you a little more volume here. Try that. Go test.
Test.
Oh, you're coming off nice now.
Okay.
Very nice. All right. So, Mr. Powell. God created this beautiful earth, right?
Right.
He created nature.
He created everything.
Yes. It is the fallen angel, who I refer to as Lucy Loser in the Sky with Trannies, who's ruined the culture and society, and he's done his handiwork through his hatred of the human genome, because he hates the human being, right? Mm-hmm. And this is how he accomplished his handiwork, him and his minions. So it's not like they're just like fallen angels floating around the sky, creating this prison planet on their own. They need the human who they're destroying to be deceived into following the losing side.
That's right.
Right? So God's creation there is, the Bible says it groans for the redemption.
That's right.
Nature itself groans. And one of the things that just bothers Ms. KAPOW and I just greatly is, any kind of animal abuse or child abuse. You're dealing with some innocent, creatures that can't defend themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just an evil.
And that's what bullies do.
They do, and they don't care. They're narcissistic, pathological, demon-possessed, idiots that abuse small children, abuse animals, and of course other humans along the way. And that's the world that Lucy Loser and his tranny buddies have all created. So we're going to talk about some of this nonsense today, how they're destroying God's earth. They're destroying God's creation, God's land. And that includes the human.
That's right.
The human, the babies,
all of God's
animals.
creation, everything.
All of it. The trees, the sky, the air, the food we eat, the water we drink. And God is not happy, nor will wrath be averted to those who destroy his earth.
Nope.
Right, Ms. KAPOW?
That's right. I have a scripture for today in Revelation 11, verse 18, and it says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants and the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth."
Wow. And should destroy them that destroy the earth. So it's part of judgment. And what we're talking about is Judgment Day, when God comes back and he consummates this age and he ends this rule, and the kingdoms of the earth become God's and his sons.
Mm-hmm. And basically, he's just giving them all this rope to hang themselves.
Mm-hmm. Because he's a righteous and just God, and so they will be judged according to their works. Mm-hmm. And so there's no gray area.
Yep. Then just pile on.
So it's horrible. So let's begin with a couple of these stories here. All right. The first one is, marijuana being legalized everywhere, right? Everywhere. Now it's going globally. Well, I said global. Sorry. I mean on the earth, on the face of the earth. Countries are legalizing it. I mean, the United States, so many states, it's just rolling, right?
And see, with your eyes open, you should know that if it legalizing it globally or all around the world, that should make you suspicious. Why they want you to partake in this drug?
Why is it so important?
Yep.
Suddenly, why is it so important that you take cannabis oil or THC? Really, it's really promoted and pushed out. We live in a city that has they call it a dispensary. Like it's medicine, like they're dispensing medicine. It's a dispensary, and of course, half the people you see coming and going are from Utah, where it's not legal, but they come across the border and get it and go back. But it's a big business. They're making a lot of cash money because it's still a cash business. Because banks and stuff still won't finance them, or you can't use banking because of the federal laws. And this was so weird. You get the federal laws that still say it's illegal, but then you got the states who make it legal. And it's
very
really
hypocritical.
It's really a weird deal. But anyway, we saw this coming, and years ago I worked narcotics and the police force, and I'm telling you, the stuff today is not the marijuana that I dealt with, in the 90s. It's not the same stuff. It's this. This is hybrid, GMO infused. I know it's chemically made. It's not your regular herb. It's not your regular hemp that used to grow on the side of the road. This is different stuff, and there's people getting sick and things from it too.
Yeah.
Too much.
Kids are on it now. Animals.
Yeah.
Poochie.
And there's no doubt. When you're in high school, you always heard of the doper. The doper was stupid. He was a little more brain dead than he wasn't the sharpest guy in the school, right? He wasn't voted most likely to succeed. The stoner. And they can say whatever they want, but people who stay stoned all the time, whether it's marijuana or alcohol or prescription drugs, if you stay stoned all the time, you're not mentally efficient, in any stretch of the imagination. That's part of the destruction of God's earth.
They want to dumb you down.
Yeah. So you can't think. You can't fight back. You can't think. And you cannot find your way home. It's part of the process. Lucy Loser and his trannies hate humanity. They do not want to bow down and worship God's creation. And they hate it, and they're doing everything in their power to accuse it 24/7. So this is from Fox News, and it says, incidents of marijuana poisoning more than triple in Quebec since legalization. Yeah.
Triple.
So,
wow.
Canada, as you know, recently just legalized marijuana nationally. And so this was just, a few months ago not too long ago.
Yeah.
I think October or something.
Last year.
Yeah.
The beginning, or end of last year anyway.
So here's some of the problems that are already happening. There's incidents of cannabis poisoning, is what they call it, in Quebec. They've more than tripled since the marijuana was legalized for recreational use, according to their poison center. Now, here's the deal. It's always touted, well, if we legalize it, there's going to be less problems. Less people will, go on bigger drugs. Less people will abuse it because now it's legal. And we're not fighting that. In fact, you're fighting the black market that's really booming now because this stuff's expensive when you go to the dispensary, apparently.
Yep.
You go to the black market and get it cheaper. It opens up a huge hole. So it hasn't got rid of decriminalizing it has not got rid of the criminal. right?
No, they're opportunists,
Any more than, you could pay $600-700 for a legitimate gun at a gun shop, or you can buy one on the black market, for $100 that was stolen from somebody's house, right? Crooks are crooks. So anyway, 89 recorded cases of marijuana poisoning between October and December of 2018. That's only a couple of months.
Yep.
89 recorded cases compared to 25 cases in the same time frame the previous year before it was legalized.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. And some of the symptoms of marijuana poisoning, they're characterized by
A high heart rate, blood pressure, anxiety, vomiting, and psychosis. And so severe that it could require hospitalization.
wow. Now, doesn't that a lot of that kind of sound like our Socialist Democratic Party in the White House? Mm-hmm. Aren't they like full of anxiety and vomiting on themselves and stuff? I'm just saying.
Crazy.
Wow. Health officials say they're moving away from the term cannabis overdose. We don't want to call it what it is for fear that it's too synonymous with fatal overdose.
Yeah.
My gosh. The reason behind the rise in marijuana poisoning is unclear. Huh. They just don't know why. Can you figure that? They just don't know why. It's unclear.
Yeah, right.
We can tell you because you legalized it and people are now overdosing on it. My goodness. So they say right now it's hard to distinguish whether there is more exposure, more cases of overintoxication, or simply more people calling because they feel more comfortable now that it's legal. She said.
Shiminy.
Really?
They know exactly what they're doing.
Exactly. It's because it's legal and everybody's doing it. Mm-hmm. And they're getting sick.
Because it's not the real thing. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a problem with it. It's just, everybody, so it's just natural. It's not your grandpa's marijuana. It's not your grandpa's marijuana. Anyway, so it was made legal in Quebec. At first it was to residents over 18, and then they changed it to 21. Yep. So.
There you have it.
There you have it. Those who destroy the earth. There you go. Number 2, Miss KAPOW. This
I don't like this one.
annoys me to all end.
The story is about mutant mice, and it's about aborted babies' body parts that have been fused with the mice to humanize them for experiments in United States in U.S. labs.
It's just disgusting. This is unbelievable. Our friends Matt and Shy Jacks from the Seed War Radio. You can find that on Podbean. Podbean.com. You got an app too. They just did a show on abortion. I think it just came out yesterday, I believe, 2 days ago. I have not yet heard it, but I know it's good because these are good people. Mm-hmm. They have just did a whole show on abortion stuff, and so this is kind of timely that this comes out. Amazing.
Dear God, it's awful. See, they take these aborted baby parts, right, and then they infuse it into these mice. And their premise is that they're actually doing research to help stamp out diseases and save millions of people. Right.
Isn't it? It's
They're
always
lying.
for our good. Yeah, just nothing but a
Because,
big...
yeah, so that way we'll go, oh, well, it's supposed to help us.
How are we going to cure cancer unless we... I just can't... I can't even stand the pictures.
I know. I don't like them either. I hate this story.
Not only innocent babies, but innocent animals. These little babies, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, apparently there's some documents that were seen by Sun Online, and they outline procedures that involve cutting out glands
Dear God.
and livers of unborn children. That's right. And then fusing them into lab rodents. Wow.
See, this whole abortion thing is more sinister than we even realize. they take these babies and they use it for experiments.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting.
It really is, and I agree with you.
Disgusting.
It goes so much deeper. The more you find out about it, the more you pay attention to it, the more sinister it is. God's wrath on those who destroy the earth.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. They have a little diagram here, and here's how they do it. How aborted baby parts are used to humanize mice. They humanize the mice so that they can test on them. Remember last week I talked about the monkeys, and how they were purposely using CRISPR gene editing to make them mentally retarded, and then putting them into United States political seats. I made that last part up, but they were making the monkeys retarded. And my good friend Ethan Lee had sent me a beautiful little meme that he created about that, and which was pretty funny, and I thank you.
It was very funny.
Yes. But these people, what they're doing is they destroy a mouse, their immune system, and they use radiation, which I think is interesting. They use radiation.
Just like they use on people to cure their cancer.
Yeah, exactly. So they use radiation and destroy the mouse's immune system. Then they take aborted baby organs and they sew these things. They put them into the mouse, like a thymus or a liver. And then the mouse develops human immune system ready for experimenting on. Ain't that nice? Ain't that nice? So the use of aborted baby parts and stem cells has sparked anger among anti-abortion groups in the U.S. It's been dubbed Frankenscience.
See, that's where we're getting all those mutant animals and stuff too.
Oh, we're getting all kinds of stuff.
You know what I mean?
Running around.
For these experiments that aren't working.
Yeah. Let them out. This is shocking undercover footage. Has led to the Trump administration to reassess if the practice should be continued at all. Really?
Yeah, it should be a no-brainer.
Yeah. What
Good
assessment?
night. Well, are we making a lot of money off of it?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. How about, when these people that go and get abortions, right? Do they? Of course, obviously they don't. Why would they care? I guess. Why would they care? But I mean, do they have any idea what's? You know what I'm saying? Do they have an idea what's going on with what they just aborted? Does it matter? Like, is there some legal issues here? There's certainly some ethical issues here. I mean, this is really...
Do what thou wilt.
Yeah, this is really, really bad.
It's horrible.
Apparently, according to this article, it says clinics are supposed to ask if they would like to donate tissue, but it's unclear whether the parents are aware their dead children's bodies are being used in this way.
Hey, they're
My
probably
goodness.
signing something in agreement before they actually do the procedure.
Yeah.
Just like we all sign something before we actually know what we're signing up for.
Yeah, and you don't read the fine print, or if you did, you wouldn't understand what it meant anyway because you're not an attorney. Yeah, exactly.
Well, look at babies, parents that have, women that have their babies. You have to sign a bunch of paperwork, and you actually sell your kids to the United States or to the country that they're born under.
Oh, that's true.
You don't know that. My
Yeah.
parents didn't know that when we got our Social Security number.
Yeah, here you are. Now you're part of the corporation. You're now an asset.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so apparently abortion clinics are supplying the fetal body parts, although they're not allowed to sell them. So you know how that works, right? We can't sell to you outright, but you can make a donation to our foundation, and we know how that stuff works. This is all Luciferian, Lucy-Looser stuff right here. Apparently, research institutions, elite universities, and medical centers pay a lot of money for baby parts. Dude, I mean,
See,
really.
there's a lot of money being made in this stuff. That they're not going to get rid of it.
How in the world how did we even last this long? This is unbelievable. Well, it goes on and on. It's disgusting. But apparently this is U.S. government-backed research. It's
That makes
controversial.
it good.
Yeah. Well, that makes it good. The use of body parts is being spearheaded by the National Institute of Health, the NIH.
See?
It's part of the American government. Oh, $98 million of taxpayers' money go into using aborted babies in the name of science. Doesn't that irk you? You know, I don't know if you've done your taxes yet, people. You know, I haven't done mine yet. I'm just waiting for a little bit longer. You know, no one knows how it's really going to go with the new tax cuts that are supposed to help. I think it'll probably help some people. There's a lot of people who are not going to help. But if you look at it, I mean, a lot of people go, oh, I'm getting $1,000 back. I'm getting $3,000 back. You know, that's just money they took out of your check. You're not getting nothing back. That's just stuff that you overpaid, you know? And to think that you paid all this money and a lot of it's going to this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that you didn't sign up for.
Yeah.
But it was all in the pork.
All into pork. You're right. All hidden in those bills. It's a disgusting article with pictures.
I don't like it.
Unfortunately, it's true. You know, it's true news. And, you know, else they wouldn't be able to put it out there, right? On the sun. I'm sure Facebook would have took it down a long time ago. Let's take a short, disgusting break. I don't mean the break's disgusting, but because we're disgusted. All right? And then we'll be right back.
How many of you remember the story contained in the book of Acts, chapter 19, where there were 7 sons of Sceva, and they were trying to cast out a demon because they saw the Apostle Paul doing great miracles through God. So they tried to do the same thing. So they go up to this guy who's demon-possessed, and they say, we adjure you by this Jesus whom Paul preaches to come out. Yeah. And guess what the evil spirit did? The evil spirit answered them and said to them, hey, I recognize Jesus and I know about Paul, but who are you? And guess what? The man that had the demons jumped on him, beat the heck out of him, subdued him, overpowered him, and they literally fled out of the house naked and wounded. Wow. Guess why? Guess why? Because they did not go to Amazon.com and buy Demons in My Marriage Bed, a true story of spiritual warfare. The book is not about you being married or single. The book is about dealing with demonic forces, and you need to know how to do that today more than you ever have for your own life and for those around you. The book is a training manual, and there's training in there that will teach you how not to be the sons of Sceva and get beat up by demons. It will give you the tools for you to be recognized by them, because they'll know that you're exercising the authority that is given to you through Christ. You need to get this book.
We're back. Ms. KAPOW, this is a new movie. It's from The Wrap.
The Wrap.
It's a wrap! I watched the trailer of this thing, too.
Did you like it? Did you like it?
No. But here's the deal. Here's when we're going to talk about it, because, you know, a lot of times, life imitates art. Mm-hmm. Or is it that art imitates life? But you'll see something. Something will be happening in society, and they go, well, that was just like that movie that came out, you know, in 1988. Mm-hmm. They predicted that, or they said this was going on. So I'm not quite sure how that works. I don't know why Lucy Looser and his tranny buddies love to, you know, put it out in plain sight, but they do.
Because they're braggadocious.
Yeah. Yeah. And they know that most humans don't have the discernment to pick something like that out. They're just on there, going their merry way. But this is one of these movies that I really honestly believe it's happening now. And it's going to get worse. I'm not a big fan of these artificial intelligent machines in your house at all. And I will tell you this, because, you know, I'm involved in the production of music somewhat. A lot of this AI I'm seeing coming into the production of music. I mean, seriously, it's weird stuff, like, you know, EQing sound frequencies and things like that. Instead of doing it the old way, using the human ear, there's really like artificial intelligence stuff that even the people that promote it or say, hey, this stuff works really good, don't know how it works. They'll use terms like it's magical. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't work like the human ear anymore, just turning knobs in frequencies and, low, mid, and high frequencies and things. It does it for you. It analyzes what the human wants to hear. It's really weird stuff, but I'm seeing it more and more in the technology of music production. So you can imagine what it's like in filmmaking and all over. So anyway, this is from the Wrap, and it says Siri-like phone assistant is out for blood in the slasher movie called AMI. So I don't know if that's Amy or AMI, but there's a trailer there. It's a horror film. It stars a couple of people. I have no idea who they are.
I know, me neither.
But it's called, maybe it's Amy. So what it is, it's a phone app like Siri or Alexa or something like that, but it's on this gal's phone. And it says, hey, Amy, who should I kill today?
It's always a good question.
Yeah, but according to Hollywood, technology has been trying to kill us for decades now, whether it's HAL 9000 or Skynet. But in this film called Amy, it's all capitalized too, by the way, AMI. I think it's interesting because it has AI in it. AMI. It's your smartphone's AI assistant, not unlike Siri or Alexa, currently sitting in your pocket that does the dirty work.
And remember, we've read stories about people that said that their phone actually told them to do certain something, kill and whatnot, and they felt so compelled they didn't have the restraint not to do what the stupid phone told them to do. Yeah.
Big Lucy in the Sky experiment with the human brain. This. Well,
it says here that the Wrap has the exclusive first look trailer for the film. And it stars these people. Casey is a high school student who customizes her new artificial intelligence assistant, Amy, to have a voice that sounds eerily like her deceased mother.
So right there...
Necromancy.
Right there you have a problem. Yes, you have necromancy.
And as her relationship deepens with this Amy, her device starts convincing her to perform heinous acts of violence and, and it goes on from there.
Because it sounds like her mother. And, I watched the trailer and she's talking to her phone like a lot of people do. Hey, Siri, find me a pizza. Siri, what time? Right? Mm-hmm. And then on the trailer, it's sounded like her mom, her dead mom. So she's talking to her. So then she starts believing it's her mom telling her to do these things. So she's killing, people who are messing with her boyfriend, and she's killing her boyfriend, and it's a slasher movie. Isn't that weird?
Gross.
Yeah. Her unlucky boyfriend says to her in the movie, "Don't listen to your phone." So yeah, but it's just like, okay, it's a movie, but folks, really, there's something up with this stuff. There really is. Mm-hmm. Right? Hey Siri, do me a KAPOW radio. Okay, now I put this up. Now I'm not anti-women. I like women. I married a woman. I married her. I married a pretty woman. I didn't marry a transvestite. I didn't marry a man dressed like a woman. I married a woman, and I like women. I grew up in a family of women. I worked with women. Mm-hmm. I had good bosses that were women. I had good partners that were women. So this is nothing about women. This is about democratic, socialist, Satanists, and trannies that are taking over the country, that are calling themselves women. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. I posted this. I saw this paper the other day. It's a local paper from they do. I think they're owned by USA Today, but they do a lot of Utah news and stuff like that. And right in the cover of it, I posted on our Facebook page. It says Wonder Women And, of course, if you know anything about Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, right? Or is it Prince Diana, right? Diana. You know, that's Baphomet worship. It's in full scale.
You see it everywhere. You see Wonder Woman everywhere.
And now Wonder Woman is the ambassador of the United Nations. Wonder Woman is the official ambassador of the United Nations. So this is a Baphomet, transgender, androgynous, satanic agenda being rolled out under the guise of women's lib. But it has nothing to do with real women. It has everything to do with men dressed like women and Baphomet, androgyne creatures. And because if they're socialist, they're far leaning like that, that means they're Satanist. Because the philosophy comes from him. It's his philosophy. It's not a political ideology. It's a satanic ideology. And they have taken over, as you can see, the United States government and many governments on this flat earth. So this, I mean, the day that I saw this article, I had run across the goddess theme, Miss KAPOW, how many times? About a half a dozen times?
Oh, at least.
Everywhere I turned, I was smacked in the face by this goddess theme. There were people on YouTube talking about it. There was this article. Everywhere I turned. Oh heck! I even watched some a video on audio, a review, and there was this goddess stuff on it. Everywhere I turned. So I take heed to that stuff because I think it's the Holy Spirit trying to point stuff out to you. So it says, this is from the Spectrum that's owned by USA Today, and right on the cover it says Wonder Women, and it says meet the newcomers in the nation's first female majority state legislator.
And lucky us, we live in that state.
Yes, it's Nevada. The state of Nevada has 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 women recently elected to the state legislator. Whoa, dogs.
Lucky.
And
It's okay, poo-poo.
have you noticed none of these look like real women?
I know.
I mean, very few of them like, oh, that looks like a feminine woman. Not being mean. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying that you have to see the spirit behind this. This has nothing to do with women, ladies. It has everything to do with this agenda. Now, I read the article, and of course, the vast majority are Democrats. I think there was one, maybe two Republicans, put in there. I'm not sure.
But they all have evil intentions.
They do. They're all part of this new Green Deal kind of a thing. Very, very odd. So here in Nevada, we have, at the very first history, a female majority state legislator. So they're going to be making the laws here. So I can't wait. Now, the majority of them are from Las Vegas. Las Vegas. That's where the majority of them are from. Some of them are from Reno. More from Las Vegas. So Las Vegas has made Nevada a very liberal state now. That one city made all of Nevada a very liberal state. Yeah, quite amazing. And we know this last election, we have Senator Catherine Cortez. She's a liberal. She replaced Harry Reid, who was a liberal. And so anyway, I thought this was interesting. And then with it, I just want to read the scripture of Acts 19:27, and this is when Paul was preaching in Athens, and Demetrius, I believe that was the name, who made the idols to Diana, because there was a temple there of Diana, and they worshipped Diana, the goddess, the Wonder Woman, Diana, Prince. They worshipped Diana there, and so they made a lot of money from her. For the selling of this kind of stuff. And not only that, but not only did they make all this money from her, but she was honored and revered there. So Paul's there, and he's preaching the gospel of Christ, And so when people are turning to Christ, they're dumping their idol worship. So anyway, he got in trouble for that, and the crowd went, and the merchants went, and they got him, and they tried to kill him until the Romans came in and intervened. But they tried to kill him for that. So that's the story in Acts 19. So in Acts 19:27, the verses, this is what Demetrius is saying about it. It says, so that not only this, our craft, the making of idols, is in danger because of Paul's preaching the gospel, to be set at naught. In other words, his preaching of Jesus Christ is going to ruin our craft, but also that the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised, and her magnificence should be destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worships. Mm-hmm. So that's right there in the Bible. It's the same thing. This is Wonder Woman, and these are Wonder Women. Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, or is it Prince Diana? You choose. It's Baphomet worship, full scale. She's all over the place. She's on top of the White House. She's sitting in the harbor in New York. It's goddess worship. It's Baphomet. It goes back. It's Lucy in the sky with trannies. Anyway, it's the world we live in. The wrath of God be upon those who destroy the earth. Okay? Here's another little semi-goddess that a lot of people like to worship. I guess it thinks it's a goddess. I'm not sure what it is. Ariana Grande. She did a video called "God is a Woman." You see what I mean? You see the agenda? It has nothing to do with women or feminism or gender equality. That is the root. That's the guise they use to get this falsehood, the satanic Lucy in the sky agenda out, just like they're telling the public we can experiment on mice that have been humanized with aborted baby parts for your benefit, for your good. It has nothing to do with medicine or science or trying to cure anything. It has everything to do with their satanic BS. So it's the same thing here. Ariana Grande sued over God as a Woman video. And last week I talked about the Ouroboros eating its own tail. Here's another example of that. They're eating their own tail. Apparently, Ariana Grande was slapped with a lawsuit over her music video for God is a Woman. Now, those of you who may not know who Ariana Grande is, I want you to stand up and pat yourself on the back because you have removed yourself from nonsense. A Las Vegas artist accused Grande, who's 25 years old, of copying an image of a woman's silhouette in front of a candle for the steamy clip. His name is Vladimir Kush, and his company is called Kush Fine Arts in Las Vegas, and he alleged that the image in Grande's music video was identical to his painting, and he had copyrighted it in 1999. Yeah. So the God is a Woman music video has racked up nearly 200 million views since July of 2018. Folks, 200 million. Okay, I'm going to say it again. 200 million people watched a video called God is a Woman. If that doesn't make you shudder, I don't know what will. I mean, that's bone shaking. 200 million people watched a video called God is a Woman. Where do we live? So this guy Kush is seeking unspecified damages from her. He requested the music video be removed from the internet. Right, like that's going to happen. The lawsuit lists Grande under her legal name, Ariana Grande Butera, also a Universal Music Group, and the video director and production company. Yeah. So here's an attorney representing Grande who's done it before, apparently. She's been accused of this for several different things. In 2016, there was a copyright infringement that she had to be defended against. And so her attorney who defended her there declined to comment about the Las Vegas case. So in 2016, there was a copyright infringement. In that case, in 2016, it was filed in Los Angeles. That involved a songwriter's claim that the Grande song, One Last Time, was very similar to his work of 2 years earlier. And, of course, they settled that case. They just settled it. See? Cush's attorney also declined to comment about the current suit. But it's the latest accusation that Grande faces of copying other people's work. Last month, there was a rapper named Princess Nokia. Princess Nokia. So I'm going to slap myself on the back because I don't know who this thing is. And I'm so far removed. That's cool. Princess Nokia accused Grande of stealing lyrics from her song Mine from Grande's smash, Seven Rings. Never heard of any of this stuff, so that's good. Here's some other rappers, Soulja Boy and 2 Chainz. They later accused Grande of biting their work for the song as well. Though 2 Chainz would later join forces with the singer for a Seven Rings remix. Of course, they said, hey, man, we can make more money if you just let us do it than if you try to do it on your own. No one knows who you are. Anyway, this young Grande Baphomet goddess thing who thinks God is a woman hasn't said anything about it and is in hiding in a hole somewhere. Yeah. So, anyway, the point is, well, look what they're suing over. Ouroboros biting its own tail. It's a disgusting place, disgusting world. I'm just waiting for the wrath and the vengeance of my Lord to get rid of the Lucy loser and the trannies in the sky and hit the reset button so we could live in a life of justice and peace and righteousness with a righteous judge, with real human beings, and get rid of the lizard people. Because I, for one, I'm tired of lizard people doing stupid lizard things constantly around us. All right? So let's hope and pray together. My brothers and sisters, take heed on everything you do. Take heed, pay attention, and hopefully our time will be shorter here than we even anticipate. All right, good night, and we'll talk to you later.
Here we wait for Judgment Day. Eyes were told to watch and pray. Help me, Lord, to firmly stand, waiting for that Son of Man. Know my trouble, Lord, dismay, waiting for that Judgment Day. Sun and moon will soon go dark. There is chaos in the stars. All the earth is gonna groan. All the people gonna moan. All this life is swept away. Yeah. When here comes the Judgment Day. pray. Help me, Lord, to firmly stand. Waiting for that Son of Man.